Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is best practices of automation. In this topic, we will be discussing how to make maintenance of automated tests easy, when regression tests should be executed, what scenarios to not automate. Automated mode of testing is better than the manual mode of testing. Benefits of using open source tools, benefits of using codeless tools. Let's begin. How to make maintenance of automated tests easy. So these are the five elements which will make your automation test maintenance easy. So the first one is the reusability. So make sure that whenever you are automating any test, the components you are designing or the module or methods which you are automating, okay, or creating should be in such a way that it can be used at later stage as well. Let's say I have designed a test A and now I'm adding it scenario B. So I should have this capability of reusing the method in scenario B. Next is robust. So create robust tests from the start. Choose the best possible locator. So from the beginning itself, make sure that you have this in mind that your locators are designed in such a way that with the minimum impact or the maximum impact, it is not going to affect your existing test. Okay, so what does it mean? So suppose there is a minor change in the application, okay, and my locator is broken, my test is broken, right? And if suppose there are a lot of changes in the application, but suppose the change is not with respect to my test, right? So in these cases, my locator should be in such a way that it should not be dependent on any other elements. Okay, so try from the beginning itself. Not 100% of the time you will be able to do this, but maximum time, make sure that you are not dependent on other elements of the web page. Changes. Don't automate scenarios that change too frequently. So the scenarios which are changing very frequently, suppose there is a module and there are a lot of changes happening in that module. So make sure you're not picking those modules for automations. Okay, it will cause the higher maintenance. Okay, you have to keep maintaining your tests again and again, and you will be reworking on your scenarios. Updates. So keep all the automated test cases up to date. Make sure your tests are updated, okay, with the changes done in the applications. Okay, suppose you are even creating reusable functions, reusable methods. Make sure that you are using them in existing cases or use cases as well, not only the new ones which you add. So whenever you are choosing a framework, right, make sure you are considering some of the factors like what kind of coverage it is going to give you. Okay, so my requirement is that I want to automate just the mobile app. Okay, my requirement is, let's say I want to only automate APIs or web. Okay, or I want everything, right? So choose the automation tool in such a way that it is serving maximum purpose. Okay, and see that it is scalable. So suppose I want to run my test on multiple browser sets. Let's say Chrome, Firefox, Safari. Okay, and the framework should have this capability so that I can run the test on multiple browsers, and in some cases in parallel execution as well. Suppose I have one scenario which is going to be executed on all browser families, okay, at a time. Okay, and automatic healing, right? Suppose there are modern frameworks where automatic healing is possible. Okay, it captures all the element of web page when you're recording the scripts, and if suppose there are minor changes with your element, it will try to reassign, okay, or self heal the path for you. So the next is when regression tests should be executed. Okay, so an existing feature is updated with a new requirement. Suppose module A, B, C is there, and module A is now getting updated. Okay, so in this case, I should be running my regression test. Okay, just to gauge the impact of that changes on the other module or the whole application itself. Anytime when a new feature or function is added to the product, okay, whenever there is a new feature, make sure you're executing your regression test. A bug is fixed, it is a very debatable topic, but uh, at least make sure when there is a critical bug fix, you are executing your regression test, or at least define that cycle. Let's say I have fixed 20 bugs in a week of time. Okay, now it's time to run the regression test just to see the impact. Okay, the source code is optimized to enhance performance. Okay, so even from the development side, there is always a practice of optimizing the code in such a way that the performance of the application is maintained or improved. So in all those cases, you are going to execute your regression test, which will gauge again the impact of these changes. You add patch fixes to the release. So whenever there is a patch release going on, okay, you made a quick fix, okay, you verified that the bug is fixed, but let's make sure that you are also executing the regression test. This will give you a good confidence that nothing has broken after that fix, and it is like go to market is very quick and short time. Okay, so regression tests thus need to be executed every time a change is made in the code. Okay, the regression tests become the perfect candidate for automation. Okay, so not 100%, but try as many or maximum number of tests to be covered in automation for the regression test. Next is what scenarios to not automate. Okay, so test cases for feature functionality that are not stable yet. Okay, suppose there is iterative development going on. Okay, there would be phased development where a feature is broken into several tasks, and in each sprint, some tasks will be picked up and then it will be delivered. Okay, uh, I know that there is a methodology where you are doing early automation, but to a logical extent, right? So when any new feature is coming up, make sure it is at least stable enough. Okay, it's bug free. Then only pick up it for automation. Need not to rush in doing automation. I know it is always said that in sprint automation, shift left and etc. But never pick any unstable feature for automation. It is just going to add the maintenance headache to your bucket. Feature functionality that changes too frequently. Suppose there is a very frequent changes in a feature which is developed or it is existing in the app. Okay, so sometime to reduce the maintenance costs itself. Okay, I don't want to keep maintaining my test again and again. It is breaking, build is failing. Okay, it's delaying the whole process. Okay, make sure those tests are somewhat picked up for manual testing rather than the automation itself. Features functionality that would take more cost to automate than to be run manually in the long run. So with this, you understand the cost to automate then be run manually in the longer run. So so this mean when a test is there and you see that manually you can get the test faster than the automated approach. Okay, or There are sometimes cases where the automation is very challenging for some of the use cases. Okay, and you will feel that you can do it in shorter time, and also you will see that the value of doing automation is not there. So those cases, in all these cases, make sure that you are not picking up those type of scenarios. Anywhere you are doing exploratory testing or ad hoc testing, okay, no need to automate those stuff, because it is very ad hoc in nature, right? You don't know the scenario, you are just trying and trying. Okay, it's a trial and error method. Okay, the scenarios are not fixed. Okay, so make sure you are not picking those type of scenarios for automation. Anything related to the usability of the application, you should not be automating it. Okay, any intermittent test that don't have predictable results, right? So suppose I give input of uh, ABC combination, okay, and the output is not certain, right? I cannot predict what would be the output, so I will not be able to add good assertions there. So no need to automate such type of areas. So the next is automated mode of testing is better than the manual mode of testing. So in this topic, I mean, this is a common misconception where people think that automated testing is better than the manual testing. But however, the context could change or differ with time to time. Okay, so let's see where and what we do, right? In manual mode of testing, right, tests that might not be executed repeatedly. Okay, you are doing the test on demand. Okay, and or even only for a certain amount of time or certain period, right? So those type of tests you will not be picking up for the automation. Test for features that are not stable yet, right? Features which are not stable, not complete, you will not be picking up for the automation. Tests that require human observation, for example, exploratory testing and the UX related test, right? All these tests you will not pick for the automation. So all these are executed manually. Okay, so in automated mode of testing, tests that will be frequently repeated, for example, regression test, right? So this is one of the type of test which you want to automate, okay, and want always to be executed using automated method. Okay, it will save your time, it will be giving you better accuracy and stuff. Okay, so there are cases where you are automating your smoke test, you are automating your acceptance test cases. Okay, so all these can be defined and we can get a better results. Tests that will be executed at a scale, example, performance test and cross-browser test. So suppose I want to run a test on multiple browsers, right? So on all those test cases would be automated just by configuration changes in your framework. You can run your single test on multiple browsers. Okay, it will save huge human resource time. So next is benefits of using open source tool. It's very simple. It is going to directly save your cost. It is free, right? Uh, Flexibility to modify tool according to your needs. Okay, you can modify the tool as and when you want, right? Because it's a open source, you can download the source code and you can make the changes. You can incorporate whatever feature you want, and then that's it. You can use that tool. Benefits of using codeless tools. So again, the codeless tools are designed in such a way that it gives you great flexibility. Okay, and the time is the key here. So you want to save the time, you want to save the human resources. Okay, so no need to learn any coding. Okay, no need to maintain the code itself. Okay, save time and effort for both the above points, right? So you are not learning any coding activity, or you are not going to maintain your code itself. Okay, so all this will make your framework codeless, or even there are modern frameworks which are sold under this banner codeless. That's all for this video.